At 42, Diana Taurasi, the renowned Phoenix Mercury who brutally and memorably burned Caitlin Clark, is retiring. Indeed, she remains the same novice. The person who made her call was made fun of by them. It surrenders. This is hardly surprising if you have been watching. Taurasi did not in fact make it to 30, the last great athlete to play. Yet the score not congratulates Taurasi or the world in general, but paints the moral lesson. He is technically retiring, but after being humiliated for making fun of Clark earlier in the season, she is now raising the white flag. It is undeniable that Taurasi was a myth, but let's face it, her insults against Clark were not only unnecessary, but they also backfired. Furthermore, Caitlin damaged the Phoenix Mercury exhibit because she couldn't stand the insult. Add to that the antagonism from the media, jealousy, and animus. Why Taurasi had misjudged her was well known to all, but what did Clark do about it? Taurasi was compelled to reevaluate her entire life, so why did Diana think her career was worth less? What was Clark's reaction to everything, and why was it so negative? Since no one else would tell you the complete story like this, let's dissect Diana Taurasi, who is known for her WNBA genius. She proclaimed, "Reality Caitlin is coming," igniting one of the most heated arguments in the league. Taurasi's gesture of kindness toward the newcomer on the court was more than that. It was more like her sitting in her queen's chair, glaring at the rookie, and taking a microphone call during what was effectively an ESPN interview with Scott Van Peltze. Away from the cue, some experts, including Caitlin, "I get it, tying girl, but you know that I oversaw this game when you were still perfecting your jump shot in Iowa, where they seem remarkably human. You will be playing with some older women who have a long history of playing professional basketball in addition to 18-year-olds. It was clear how arrogant Tass was when he claimed in the interview that Caitlin Clark might be the newest sensation. But the WNBA is a different league, and it's not about dodging college students and creating eye-catching highlight reels. There is no way that the WNBA is a jungle full of seasoned ballers who has been working hard to advance. Years of hard labor, Diana possessed those. She said, "I've been through war vibes," and she would be bringing some adult women along. You know that she's not. She's talking about mimosas and brunch, discussing bruising, sweating, and having a flexible schedule. The question is, was this personal, or was Diana just sending Caitlin a friendly reminder? Warning, Clark severely beat the same adult woman. In the meantime, Caitlin's rise was like a meteor crashing straight into Toss's WNBA history. It takes roughly a minute, Taurasi is king, and Clark will continue to be discussed by the next ESPN as the future star of the Women's Basketball League. Taurasi has spent over 20 years shaping this league into what it is today, and the young Iowan is now prepared to assume the lead. Indeed, it is understandable why there was some friction. You're just going to get better at what you do. Not that you're not excellent at it, but something is going to change. You recognize that it might take some time, and that as a newbie, you will need to be patient with yourself. For some people, it takes longer. I'm talking about Caitlin. Caitlin isn't just any youthful talent who requires time to develop. She made an impression on everyone as soon as she joined the league. She has the marketing machine running constantly. Caitlin is all around you, but the true question was Diana more concerned? Was Clark truly conscious that her own time was running out in terms of her capacity to oversee the WNBA? Because let's be honest, time always catches up to everyone, regardless of how many three-point shooting sessions she completes or how many defenders she breaks. Diana received a cosmic warning from Caitlin's accomplishment that the next generation is already at her door, and that, whether she likes it or not, the torch-passing narrative is unavoidable. That's just the arrogance of the vets, as they say. We all had a learning curve. You will enter. Everything will be okay. And the press, oh, they're not even helping. In a small way, the monument to Caitlin Clark was almost finished, announcing her as the future of the Women's Basketball League at this time, and possibly creating murals in her memory. Caitlin, whether Diana likes it or not, Caitlin Clark has arrived to take her proper place in the spotlight, and isn't just knocking. She's almost pounding down the door already. After all, Diana is only human, if she has any feelings about this. It is clear that Caitlin Clark is the star of the collegiate game, because she is currently the most talked about player in women's basketball. The winner of second place in the NBA draft, the University or NBA, 15 August 2024, remember that day in the history of basketball. Given that everyone stopped to watch a WNBA game at that time, It appears to be a typical matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury. This was not your normal circumstance. The game was going to start. Asked about their expectations of facing the clock for the first time, WNBA queen Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark, the rookie that everyone has been swooning over, faced off in what can only be described as a straight-up basketball soap opera. Taurasi is made up of 4 words. I am aware that Sunday will be your first time playing against Caitlin Clark. It will be a fun pregame. When asked regarding Clark's meeting, "It'll be fun. Fun, where's the fire?" said Taurasi, shrugging. You would think she would be eager to fight. Rather, she was oddly quiet. Where is the customary backstabbing among the Taurasi? Learn about and show appreciation for the woman who is actually getting ready for a casual pickup game at the YMCA, despite playing every basketball hoop as though she had a personal vendetta. Hello, Diana. This is supposed to be the showdown, said supporters doubtfully. It's a laid-back atmosphere, to put it bluntly, and Caitlin Clark currently leads Diana Taurasi 4-0 in the WNBA. Like the other 2 Olympians on that team, the individual who claims she shouldn't have been on Team USA is lying. From the leap from their asses, this was the look on Caitlin Clark's face, as if she wasn't just having fun. Boy, did she come to dominate the court. She delivered. She didn't just roll out. Let's take a moment to process that. 40 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. However, it wasn't just those numbers. Figures that left everyone speechless. No, it was the way she made those ridiculous downtown 3-pointers that got you thinking. Before the buzzer sounded, Clark had already put on a clinic. It made a sound. She's only playing tricks on the defenders. She was flinging them like candy at one point. And then there was the scene where Clark was sprinting across the room, passes entirely past Greer, who, in spite of being struck in the face, gets an additional 3 points if you play the conventional way. We're not even halfway through the first quarter with 10 points for number 22. The Fever only persisted for 2 minutes. With a slim lead, Clark strolls across half the court, quickly outscores the opposition, and then casually pulls up from the logo. As if it were magnetized, the ball naturally swishes past the net. The crowd erupted, but Clark had other plans. Vesper football, Clark's teammate mentioned as they worked together with Clark several times. She turned around and looked directly at Taurasi, effectively communicating with her eyes. Yes, Taurasi had no say in the issue, and I am now in my league, but after the game, thank her. It's very fantastic. You are aware of Caitlin's accomplishments during her short career. She hasn't been particularly remarkable or notable so far, but you know what I genuinely love about her? Everyone fell deeply in love with her because she is an avid gamer. Her genuine reaction, however, was to sit up straight, the plot twist that came as a surprise after the game. Following the game, while everyone was still in disbelief over Clark's incredible performance, as she walks confidently into the post-game news conference and drops the biggest bomb of the night, Taurasi declares, "It's been an amazing journey." She says it's her voice. Tiny bit of a crack, but maybe it's time. Just Diana. Nothing extraordinary, no farewell tour, declaring in jest that the room is complete. Nobody observed this. Thus, the reporters who were utterly silent, probably attempting to get their mouths out of their mouths. Greetings, you guys and the next generation are greatly appreciated. Since it appeared like this was the final time I would ever adore you all, the internet naturally went crazy. Caitlin Clark, a rookie, just retired. The GOAT was so shaken that it was Taurasi, it was Logo 3 that made Tass say, "Yeah, that's enough for me." Clark's performance was just the cherry on top of her career-defining Sunday. Or was this prearranged? Anyway, it was a moment. Ultimately, this was more than just a game. It signaled the WNBA's formal transition from Terry, the undisputed legend, to Clark, the up-and-coming star. Francois, sitting in the front row, witnessed the extraordinary spectacle, police reports say. It appears that Terry's departure was modest and subdued, because that's precisely how she wanted it to be. Despite